Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is Designed Resilience, the corner of the internet where we talk about building daily habits and practices that can help you get through the day, get through a time period when things are difficult or challenging, and then they can basically enrich your life even when things are great. Today, I want to spend time talking to you about 5 little bitty habits that you can begin to build today, or as soon as you're ready, that can help you ground in times of great conflict. And I didn't actually know that these habits were important until my world changed so significantly when I lost my mom 2 Christmases ago. And as I was going through the process and I was thinking about what I was doing with my days and how I was getting through, it turned out that these were the things that I was reaching for every single day because I built these habits before tragedy struck. So when we are in the realm of our physical well-being and we want to make sure that we can take care of ourselves through times of challenge, because a lot of times that's the first thing that goes out the window. When your circumstances change, whatever the situation may be, we often abandon ourselves first while we're trying to deal with the issue. And having these habits in place will make sure that that doesn't happen and that you stay strong enough to manage your circumstances. So habit number 1 is picking a specific wake up time and sticking to it. And so this can be whatever time works for your life. At the time that my crisis happened, I was getting up at 5 a.m. every morning. And that was so that I could get up and work out and get ready for work before I needed to be there on time. And because I had that rhythm established, it affected a lot of other things. My regular wake up time caused me to be sleepy at a certain time. And so I had a time that I went to bed. And that was a rhythm that my body was already in before the circumstances changed. And I was able to rely on that habit to help me get out of bed when I didn't want to, and to stick with that routine that my body was already accustomed to. So it didn't take a lot of extra energy to do that. So step 1, pick a time to get out of bed and get out of bed at that time regularly, at least 5 days a week, if not 7. 7 ingrains the habit, but if 5 works, 5 works. The second habit is physical movement every day. And I don't necessarily mean just exercising. So I, at the time, was getting up at 5 a.m. so that I could be at the gym by 5:30, and I would do a combination of strength training and cardio workout. That's not what I mean by daily physical movement. I mean as something as simple as tidying a room in your house every day, or doing a load of laundry if you have that much laundry to do, or going on a walk after dinner, or doing some simple stretches before you get out of bed in the morning, or chasing your dog or taking your dog for a walk or playing with your kids. But just having something to do every single day that gets your body up and moving. And a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at rest. So when you're going through a challenging time, it can be very easy to be overwhelmed. But if you've built in this habit of every single day doing something that moves your body, another idea could be if you're maintaining a garden, or if you have a pool to keep clean, or just anything that helps you move your body. There's countless pieces of research that talk about the benefit of this. Physical movement can reduce stress, can release endorphins, helps you from being sore, helps with your mental clarity. You can think differently when you're moving your body than if you're at a standstill. You can kind of get out of your head and get into your body. And so whether it's like me, where I was getting up every day at 5 and at the gym at 5:30, or whether it's moving throughout the day, having a practice of doing something that involves your body every single day is something that I clung to, and I didn't realize how important it was when I was going through my initial grieving process. The third habit that's really important is to eat at least 3 times a day. So I am one of those people who, when I get really stressed out or really anxious about something, I don't eat. I will skip lunch at work if it's a really busy day. I didn't used to be, before I had built these habits, I wasn't in the habit of eating breakfast. And that is something that will deplete your energy. It'll make it harder to make good decisions. It will make your body suffer so much more related to stress if you're not eating. And so kind of tumbling into these habits, if you have a time that you're getting up every morning, there's going to be a time that you get hungry, and it's going to be consistent. And so listening to your body and beginning to eat when you get hungry after you've woken up, whenever that is, it could be right away, it could be a couple hours later or whatever. Eating then, and then eating again when you get hungry again, because now that you've started your metabolism, you're going to get hungry. And just using those little moments to pay attention to your body and feed it is so valuable. Now, when you're in a time of crisis, I don't think it matters if it's quality food. I don't think it matters if it's clean or if it follows a certain eating pattern. When you're in crisis, you just need to take care of yourself. But when you're not, establishing the habit of eating 3 times a day, getting nourishment, and finding pleasure in that will help you continue to eat when you're going through crisis. And I absolutely wouldn't have eaten like I was supposed to if I hadn't built that habit before everything went crazy. The 4th habit is managing your stress. And so I had started, because of my whole morning routine of getting up early and going to work, I had started spending time in the morning meditating or visualizing. And most of the time I was listening to a YouTube recording of affirmations or a guided meditation, or sometimes just music for a few minutes in the morning as a kind of way to just center myself. Or prayer may be a way that you do that in the morning, just a way to calm the entire outside world and focus quietly to the voice inside of you. That was a habit that I had developed before, and I clung to it. Just those few minutes of quiet, even if it was sad, just a sad few minutes of quiet where I could go into a place by myself and just breathe and just be, was so critical to me managing my stress through that time. And speaking of breathing, one of the tools that I picked up, observing other people talking about managing stress, is called box breathing. It's a tool apparently special forces operators use because it's a breathing style that signals to your body that you are safe. And so in moments when I would panic, there's kind of like levels of stress, and sometimes it just like shoots through the roof when you realize something new that's happened in the situation. Box breathing helped me to calm down. So it's inhaling for a count of 4, holding your breath for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4, and inhaling for a count of 4. And that helps your parasympathetic nervous system realize that you're safe and that it doesn't have to put you in fight or flight, because your brain can be telling your body that you need to when you don't. You're just sitting at the funeral director's office making choices about the program. So I found that helpful. The fact that I knew about that before I got into the situation allowed me to tap into that skill when I needed it. And the 5th habit is stay hydrated. I'm actually kind of glad that Stanley cups are a big deal, because if you're putting water in them and you're carrying them around everywhere and you're accessorizing them, then you're probably drinking water. And it's so critical to just your body function. I mean, at the minimum, if you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to poop, and you need to poop. Especially if you're eating the 3 times a day like you're supposed to. It helps your skin. It helps avoid headaches. A lot of headaches can be tied directly to dehydration. It just helps you operate better. And so I had a habit. So I had a big jug of water that I was taking to my workout with me. So I was getting water in the morning, first thing, which was really helpful. And then I really like carbonated canned waters. And so we just keep them in the house. And I had a habit of always having one open and with me. And so that was just something I fell back into, or I never stopped when we were going through everything with my mom. that I just always had an open can of carbonated water, and probably not as hydrating as just regular water, but I like it. I like the fizz. And so having a rhythm with drinking water in a way that you prefer, maybe you like fruit in it, maybe you like flavors, maybe you like ice, maybe you like room temperature, whatever, but just find a way to have water be a close companion throughout your day. And I am so cool. I'm at the age where I can't even go through the night without water. I have to have some on my bedside table because I get these cute little tickle coughs that wake me up. So I always have water. So those are little bitty decisions, choices, habits that you can make today that I have lived through the truth that they will sustain you when your world turns upside down, because I kept getting up at the same time. I kept moving my body and listening to my body when I was hungry and feeding it. And I managed my stress to the best of my ability. I had at least tools to use when I started panicking or started just spinning out emotionally and mentally. And I stayed hydrated. I kept drinking my water, because when you can't, and I did see a difference in my ability to do higher level executive functioning. I was so grateful for my husband and my friends and my family who are around me, because they were able to make the decisions that were bigger. They were able to drive to places we need to go, or my team at work was able to make decisions without me, because I needed to focus really small. And having these habits that took care of my physical well-being already in place, even moved that off my plate. I didn't have to think about the stuff. I just did it because I'd been doing it. And so, while I don't wish any of that experience on anybody, I do wish that you take the time to build in little bitty habits that just become part of who you are, so that if something does happen, your body and your mind automatically goes through them. And it helps you be strong. It helps you, give you what you need to navigate that situation, because it sure helped me. So I hope this is helpful. I'll see you next week.